Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 205. The title of today's lesson is Always Capitalize Ranks and Titles when followed by a name. So if it's a rank and then a name is right after it, you should capitalize the name of the title. All right, so let's look at the first example. My Uncle Bob is 85 years old. Yeah, even something as simple as like uncle and aunt is actually a title. So you see where I have it underlined in a red pen, of course, that's the one that should be capitalized. It has become a title. It's just before the name. Let's look at number 2. The leader of that platoon is Sergeant Smith. Of course, you know, platoon, that's in an army where they send out a group of soldiers on some mission. All the soldiers in that one group is a platoon. The sergeant, of course, here, that is the title, Sergeant Smith. That's his ranking. Okay, good. Let's look at number 3. Over 800 years ago, St. Malachi predicted the next 112 popes, and Pope Francis is supposed to be the last one. Well, it's actually almost closer to 900 years. It's getting very close to that. They held this list that he had for many years in the Vatican. They didn't really reveal it. I think the first 300 or 400 years they had it, they didn't let it out. And I think he was supposedly very accurate those first 300 or 400 years. They had some feeling that maybe somebody tried to change some of them, but he still got most of them right. At least the name of whatever Pope chose is very close to what he predicted, either through from some sort of an emblem or something like that. So who knows if it will end up being true in the end. But the church thought enough about him to make him a saint too. They don't do that for everybody. St. Malachi predicted the next 112 popes. And now you see here the word popes, it's not followed by a name, so it's not capitalized. And Pope Francis, so of course Pope definitely will be capitalized. It becomes a title too. Pope Francis is supposed to be the last one. Okay, good. Let's look at number 4. The 45th president is President Donald Trump. Of course, president is a title if a name follows it. Number 5, that teacher was Professor Jones. All right, good. And this is one that native speakers sometimes do make a mistake on. I've even caught some major famous newspapers and magazines that sometimes miss it. You can catch it if you're reading and you're looking closely. But anyway, so be careful. Remember, if anything becomes a title or a name when it's followed, any word that's followed by a name and it becomes a title or a rank, you should always capitalize it. Okay? I hope it was informative. Thank you for your time.